This video is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Yo, do you believe that we're almost at the midway point of the season? Hopefully, you got an idea of how teams are stacking up against each other. So why not add a little fun to the mix? Today's video sponsor, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is dishing out an awesome offer for all their customers. All new customers need to do is this: sign up using promo code Philly500, bet $5 on any pregame moneyline wager, and receive an additional $200 in free bet. That's right, new customers who bet at least $5 on any team to win just straight up will get an additional $200 in free bets if their bets hit. I don't know how it gets much better than that. Plus, get this, my favorite, same game parlays. You can combine multiple bets from the same game to give yourself a shot at even bigger winnings all season long. How about Philly and the over this week versus Dallas? For those of you in states that do not offer sports betting yet, I know how you feel, but don't worry, DraftKings has you covered. DraftKings Daily Fantasy, the best there is. They have been innovating even more ways for you to win cash this football season, so check it out. And don't forget, the basketball season tips off soon, and DraftKings has a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. So make sure you guys download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers, make sure you use the code Philly500 and receive $200 in free bets if your pregame moneyline bet hits after placing a $5 wager. That's promo code Philly500 only on DraftKings Sportsbook.
A special thanks goes to DraftKings Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook app, for sponsoring this video. And remember, use the promo code Philly500. That's Philly500 and get your offer. Last Sunday, we all witnessed what happens when Chauncey Gardner-Johnson goes out. Kevon Wallace comes in, and you hold your breath and you say, "Where's Wallace, String? Because he ain't playing on the field. This guy stinks." Obviously, the Eagles need depth at safety, and maybe, just maybe, the guy they need is in New England.
Dallas still stinks.
You're right the way, King Dingbat here, and happy Football Friday to all you Dingbats out there. I hope each and every one of you guys is doing really, really good. You know, they say, kill two birds with one stone. Well, actually, we probably shouldn't use the term birds, right? So how about two cowboys with one stone? Solve two problems at once. That is what the Eagles could do if they decide to give the New England Patriots a call and trade for safety. Now, before we get into this, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe for daily Eagles content, NFL content. You definitely don't want to miss it. And if you've been subscribed for a while, you know the deal. Just double check, double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. Now, yesterday we heard about the San Francisco 49ers trading for Christian McCaffrey. Obviously, the 49ers are looking at the NFC conference, they're looking at the landscape, and they're saying, we're 3-3 in a weak division, and this conference is wide open. We need to try to take a shot. We need to go for it. Let's go out and get Christian McCaffrey. That's exactly what the San Francisco 49ers did. And that is exactly what I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to do. I expect nothing less than Howie Roseman to go out and make some trades. Maybe more than one, but I expect him to make significant trades, okay? And, I went back to my live stream last night, and I was trying to find out who was the person that brought this name up to me, because it was a brilliant name, and I was thinking about it all night. And then I went to Bleeding Green Nation. They mentioned the guy too, and the more I thought about it, I go, this could be the perfect trade, okay? And I'm talking about the Eagles. Howie Roseman getting his pencil protector and his Napoleon hat, calculating the calculations of the cornbread, giving the Patriots a phone call, and trying to trade for Jabrill Peppers, the safety. Now you're saying to me, Jabrill Peppers, why do you want to trade for him? What would be the point of that? He's not going to start, all those kind of things. You're right. I don't see him as a guy. Man, this stupid chair's shaking now too. I need my chair I ordered. I ordered a chair and it still hasn't come. But anyways, Jabrill Peppers, he would not come in and start right away. This is true. However, it would be a great move for the Philadelphia Eagles if they went out and got him. Why do I say that? Because Jabrill Peppers would be a good backup, okay? I think you could bring him in for depth reasons. You saw what Kevon Wallace did on the field with against the Cowboys when Chauncey Gardner-Johnson went out. It didn't look good. It didn't look good, and it has me very concerned. However, Jabrill Peppers could come in, and I think he could back up Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Epps, and he would provide decent depth. And here's the other thing, and this is the important thing. He also can return punts. He also plays special teams. So essentially, you would be adding depth to your safety, and you would be adding a guy who has experience and been good at returning punts. So I think going out and getting Jabrill Peppers would be a big deal. Now, last year he signed with the New England Patriots. It was a one-year deal, and my thought was, well, he just signed with the Patriots. Why are they going to basically trade him now after signing him? And then I came upon this on Bleeding Green Nation. I'm going to read this to you because this convinced me this is a move the Eagles should try to do. Jabrill Peppers, 27, safety of the Patriots. He's 5'11", 213 pounds. When the Eagles lost Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, this is exactly what I was saying, for a brief period during the win over the Cowboys Sunday night, the lack of safety depth was exposed. Big time. Peppers signed with the Patriots on a one-year deal this past offseason worth just $1.7 million. He would give the Eagles a quality backup at safety who also has extensive, and this is important, extensive experience as a returner. He has 83 career punt returns, 34 career kickoff returns. Peppers, and here's the key. This convinced me that this is why you do it. Peppers right now is the fourth safety on the Patriots depth chart behind McCourty, Duger, and Adrian Phillips. And the Patriots are carrying 7 safeties on their roster. So, he's the fourth safety on their depth chart. If he came to Philly, he would be the third safety. This would be a very smart move by the Eagles, in my opinion. I think this would be probably really cheap to do. It would be cheap against your cap. You would only be committed for 1 year, and you would get a guy that would provide depth as safety and would also provide experience on special teams, which is something I feel like we desperately need. And then here's the other thing. Because the move wouldn't cost you that much, you still have the option to go after a Brian Burns, somebody like that, a bigger name, somebody maybe more expensive. So essentially, you can get multiple players possibly at the trade deadline. To me, this is a move that the Eagles should definitely look into doing. Because, like I said, he's cheap, he's 1 year, and he's giving you depth. That is what you need. This is a 6-0 team. There's not a lot of positions on this team where I can say, okay, you can make a trade right now and you can upgrade your starting position. That's not going to happen. You're not going to upgrade your starters, but you want to upgrade your depth pieces, whether that's at safety, whether that's on the offensive line, whether that's running back. You've got to try to upgrade your depth, okay? When you're 6-0, and you have the schedule the Eagles have. Let me remind you, the Eagles play Pittsburgh next. Then they play Houston. Then they play Washington. And Washington, no Woogie. Then they're going to play the Colts. These are probably 4 games which I can't see the Eagles losing. That makes the Eagles 10-0. So if you're 10-0, then the chances that you get an NFC number 1 seed is pretty damn good. If you're at that point, you've got to go for it. You've got to start taking some chances and risks, because how often are you going to be the number 1 seed, be 10-0, have a schedule like that you do now? You have to go for it. And the idea is to go for it without mortgaging the future. A move like Jabrill Peppers would not be mortgaging the future. If you're going to go out and get a guy like Brian Burns, he's only 24, 25 years old. I forget exactly what age. But he's young enough where you're going to want to sign him, and he's going to remain an Eagle for years to come. So it's not a bad move. Even if you were to give up a second-round pick, hell, even if you were to give up your first-round pick overall. So the Eagles, they've got to make a move. I look at it like this. The 49ers right now are probably, in my opinion, they may be the second. I think they're the number 2 in the NFC conference. If we're going to just be honest, right? I don't think Green Bay's all that. I don't think the Rams are all that. I don't think the Buccaneers are all that. So the top 3 teams in the conference are the Eagles, 1, probably the Niners, and probably the Giants if you're basing it upon records. Okay, now Green Bay may get it going. Maybe one of those other teams do too. You know, you never know with the Buccaneers. With Brady, you can't count them out. Rams, maybe they get things going. But right now, the way I look at it, the 49ers got to be looking at the landscape of the NFC going, we add McCaffrey, we are at least the top 3 team in the conference. We got a chance. And I think the Eagles have to have the same approach. You're number 1 seed. You're the only undefeated, undisputed team in the NFL right now. You have a chance at the number 1 seed, meaning you get a bye week, you get home field advantage. Trying to say that, you know, we're building for the future is great and all, but the future is also now. Our window, our door to a Super Bowl just opened. It just opened this year. It is open, it is wide, and it's not shutting anytime soon. It's not shutting for years to come, but it's open right now. And if you can go out and get better and help you have a better chance in terms of having depth, getting another piece, you got to do it. You got to take a chance. You know, the other thing with Jabrill Peppers is they could go right to James Bradbury. He played with him. He knows what kind of teammate he is, what he's like. And I know that the Eagles liked Jabrill Peppers in the past. There was rumors about the Eagles being potentially interested in him at the time. So to me, I think you've got to go out and make some moves. I expect Howie to do so. Jabrill Peppers, it makes a lot of sense to me. It makes a ton of sense to me. Why? Because you're not going to have to give up a lot for him. He's 4th on the depth charts in New England, and they'll take picks, I'm sure. And you bring in a guy who not only gives you depth at safety, but also can help you in the return game. So I think the Eagles should absolutely jump on it. The other thing we got to talk about real quick, too, is the Saints lost last night. We talked a little bit about this in the past video, but Saints are now giving the Eagles the 4th overall pick. I believe their next game is the Raiders. I think they got the Raiders. They got a tough stretch coming. So they could very well lose the next few games. This can be a top 5 pick. Okay, top 5 picks. So whatever you do at the trade deadline, whatever you're willing to trade, if you're willing to trade picks, you do not give up that Saints pick. It's a top 10 pick. It's going to be, at worst, a top 10 pick, which is big time when you're talking about a 6-0 team. Thank you to the New Orleans Saints. The Eagles Howie must have calculated the calculations of the cornbread. And he must have said, I don't know what New Orleans is seeing with their roster, but there ain't no way they're that good. Let's trade a first-round pick, make sure we get one next year, and we'll be good to go. Great move, genius move, and it's going to turn out to be big time for the Eagles. All these things are going our way, and one of the things the Eagles have to continue to do, Howie Roseman, Howie Vision, we're all just living in it. I've always said this. He's at his best when he's aggressive. When he's out there making moves, wheeling and dealing, that's when Howie's at his best. Right now, with the trade deadline coming up, it is time for Howie to go to work. It is time to wheel and deal. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. right, guys, get this, right? I know a lot of you guys play Madden, right? And you've heard all my complaints on Madden, which there are a lot. But I play Madden too. I've been playing lately, and I'm going to probably start playing online very soon. But I've complained about Madden. I think there's a lot of trash to it. I think it's just recycled garbage. I do. And I got to tell you, I was playing Madden the other day, and I challenged to play, right? So I challenged to play, and they say, Doug Peterson, the announcer says, Doug Peterson is going to take a challenge. I'm going, why are they so lazy to even change the name of the coach? It's Nick Sirianni, not Doug Peterson. It just shows you they recycle the same thing. They're not really innovative. They're not really upgrading the software. And it's just stale stuff. I do play, but it's stale. Now, that said, I got to tell you about something I did play, right? On Quest 2, right? It's an NFL game. It's called NFL Pro Era. And it's like this football VR. And basically, from what I've played so far, you're just the quarterback, right? And you can't run and stuff like that, but you're just the quarterback. You're in the pocket. You're making throws. And, like, you're in a stadium. You're playing a whole season. And that shit looks good. I mean, it looks real. It looks like, holy crap, like this feels like you're in the game, dude. It's crazy. You guys have to try it if you haven't. It's called NFL Pro Era. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's more of like a NFL experience. But it just shows you that, like, with VR and the technology advancing, one day they're going to be able to play it's going to be some really cool stuff coming to football. But I would love to see Madden incorporate something like this because it is absolutely fantastic. You're on the field, you can see, you have your wristband, you can look at the play, you make your play calls. It's awesome. You hike the ball, you have to hold the ball, then you make the throws. It's cool. Check it out. NFL Pro Era. I think you'll like it. Denzel Washington out.